What's up, guys? I'm so excited to share with you what I've been working on this past week. A while back, I made a collage in Photoshop of everything Shawn Mendes, and my sister Julia saw it, and she's like, "You're gonna draw that for me, right?" And I was like, "Nah, it's gonna take too long." Ever since then, I decided that I was going to do exactly that for her, and then give it to her for her birthday. So this is the process of how I did that, with a simple kit of pencils and lots of time. I hope you guys enjoy, and stick around to see Julia's reaction at the end. Alrighty, let's jump in. So I started first by drawing a grid over the collage that I made. I then traced that out on the piece of paper, and my first error here was starting in the top right corner. I didn't think about it, how much graphite was going to spread all over the paper, so I ended up smudging that top right corner a whole bunch. It's not going to be my only mistake. So after finishing the top right corner little floral arrangement, I started on Shawn's butterfly tattoo. One of the things that I struggled with was understanding how each type of arrangement was different. So there were lots of different styles. So his butterfly tattoo is quite a bit different than the floral arrangement on the top right. You see, I made a makeshift bandage, it almost looks like. That's just a wax paper covering, and I was hoping that it would help me not to smudge the top right corner. Usually wax paper does a pretty good job of not spreading graphite, but I started to develop wrinkles in wax paper, and that started to spread the graphite instead. This collage is kind of made up of all the things that make up Shawn Mendes. You have some of the floral arrangements that are found on his t-shirts, so then you also have a bunch of his tattoos. Right now I'm working on his light bulb tattoo that is filled with flowers. This one was interesting because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to render the light and the reflectivity on the light bulb. Sorry about this one, guys. Didn't realize how far back the camera was. As you can see, I have a pretty bad problem with putting my head in front of the camera, especially when it gets down low on frame. If you look closely at his eyes in the actual photo, that his eyes actually look kind of funny, so that threw me off for a really long time. So I was playing around with proportions quite a bit. Eventually I decided that I just needed to go straight for it. So I started on the inside of the eye because I figured that was the hardest thing to mess up because an eyeball's round. So I really don't have too much experience drawing with graphite, so I just paid a lot of attention to where highlights and shadows were. The hair was probably the most daunting thing to me because I had never done anything like that before. I had to stop a couple times when doing the hair because I had no clue what to do next. The advice that I watched on YouTube said to render it in clumps, so that's what I did, going back over in layers to add depth to the image and contrast. With the skin, I was really scared about messing it up. So I just started super light And then I ended up not going too much darker. I primarily used just light pencil shading, and then I used tissue to blend it out softer. Now I started to render the last of the floral arrangements and started on the guitar. The guitar was a little interesting because it's made up of a lot of little trees. I wasn't sure if I should render each little twig of the tree or kind of shade the whole thing. The last part was this giant flower from another one of his shirts. And finally signing it.
Did you draw this?
Yeah. Isn't that
Are you kidding me?
the whole thing?
What? When?
Every time he stops.
This whole week? Oh,
Had a lot of homework.
that's so sweet. Let's go to my room.
Yeah, we could tell.
Wow.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it enough to consider subscribing. Blessings.